Can you hear me now? Good afternoon, Cherry. Can anyone hear me? You hear me? Oh, we fixed it. Cool. Right, it's not letting me choose a makers and crafting category, apparently. So apparently I'm still playing Valheim, and I'm fucking not. Right, well, we're just going to stay in the Valheim category for the moment. Cool. Oh, okay, it's taking Valheim off, but it's not giving me makers and crafting. Oh, there we are. For pity's sake. There we go. That was not helping my mood, by the way. Just FYI. I should be happy I have a new toy. So AccuQuilt have this Go Cube, which is a big fucking bastard box full of die cutters. So I've got my AccuQuilt and I've had a play with these, and it meant I could cut and sew in 2 hours this, right? Because everything was cut perfectly. So I should be happy. But I am stressed the fuck out. So we are just going to chill and do some cross stitch. Okay? But yes, how is everyone? Thank you, Shlees. That design is going to be made into a cushion pattern, a quilting cushion pattern, which I will then make into packs so that you can buy the pack and just make the cushion because you'll have everything in the pack. That's the next plan. You've been better. Would you like to talk about it? You don't have to, but if you would like to talk about it, you can. But yeah, so there's plans to have packs. The brain mizzles making everything complicated. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's Tuesday, isn't it? Yes, it's Tuesday. Tomorrow, I've got to go down to St. Nick's Market. There's a new quilting shop in there, or fabric shop, and they were at the last show in Newton Abbot at the weekend. And so they said, you know, what price would I give to shops? So I gave them the corporate spiel for shops, which I've never had to use before, but it was fun. So they've said that they're interested. So while the show itself wasn't unbelievably brilliant, I might be able to get I might get this shop in to buy some of my fabric. So yeah. Plus I had some of my black work on show. All of my black work on show. and sold a couple of those sheets, which was nice. But also I've been advised that I should put together some packs of black work, because apparently black work is in some circles. And in those circles, they're willing to pay for packs. So I just got to get together a design that incorporates the black work, and then get the Ada and the thread and a needle and stuff, and put it together a pack that I can then sell. Which one of the other stalls at the market is also willing to sell for me, or on my behalf. So monetarily, the last show was not great. However, in contacts and shit that's happened, the last show was fucking brilliant. And I'm out of the room just now and I missed anything you said before. Oh, fair. But yeah, so yeah, I went to Newton Abbot. Apparently it was the first time the show had ever been in Newton Abbot, and I didn't know that before I went. But that does explain why there weren't a lot of people around, because it wasn't well known or established. I'm busy again. Yes, setting all those packs up. Yes, I am. That is why after this next weekend, which is going to be in Duxford. Duxford? Yeah, Duxford. I then don't have another show for a month and a half until the middle of May. And I am just going to work on getting packs and stuff ready and getting that kind of thing sorted out over that month and a half. Oh, while also sort of organising my daughter's birthday presents, because well, the show is over her birthday. And yes, I do feel like shit, like a shit mum because of that. But I've talked to her about it and she understands. And I'd already decided that her father was going to do her birthday party this year, so, and I wasn't, so that's not changing. But I've already come up with two block designs for the patterns for the quilts. So that's block design number 1, and that's block design number 2. So I'm going to make these into packs. I'm going to make these into packs of 4 blocks, so you can make 4 blocks. So because this one is this, okay. That was there, and then it got turned to that, and then turned again for this, and then the fourth way. So, but there's that. But I've looked at it in all different kinds of orientations, and it's going to be fucking brilliant. It's going to be great. This one's going to be beautiful. I've only got crappy, yeah. So that's the first one in one orientation. A second orientation, which I really like. And the third orientation, which was just next to each other. Then this one, this was just all in one direction, but then I swapped the directions around, and then had some fun with that. But yeah, it's... So I'm going to be making these into packs. So that will be happening. They will also be available on the website if anybody wants them. Oh, and my new AccuQuilt cutting machine. I have a thing for a blade. It's like this, like one of these, but it's longer, and it does 3 strips of 2.5 inch fabric. So you put your fabric on there and it just cuts the strips for jelly rolls. And I was just like, oh my god, my life just got made so much easier. So if anybody wants jelly rolls, they're now a lot easier to make. I might put the price back down. But yeah, I handed out a lot of flyers, business cards at first, but then I got flyers because it turns out crafters prefer flyers to business cards. I was thinking, and then as an artist, you know, but also the flyers are cheaper. Who knew? So I've now got flyers that I hand out to people. Oh, and from the 1st to the 3rd of June, my quilt group, Bristol Quilters, is putting on a quilt show. So you should all come down for that. Many things have been learned, yes. We have a sale on at the moment, ends today, I think, if you need anything like that printing. Yeah. Thank you. I currently have enough flyers to survive. And the next show at the very least. And then I've got a month and a half, and if I need anything, I'll just get it in that month and a half. Yeah. So yeah, on Thursday I will be going down to Duxford to set up. Friday, Saturday, Sunday is going to be the show. Sunday driving back. So fun times. I love the shows, by the way. It's not the shows that's causing me issues. The fact is the shows have gotten me quite tired, obviously, because I haven't had a proper job in 10 years, in over a decade. And so I'm struggling to get back into the pace of things. This is also the year that I've got to get my daughter into a secondary school, and the school that we wanted said no. So I'm now late because I thought it was like university, you know, only go for the ones that you really, really want and what have you. But it turns out it's not. It's like if you don't apply to every school that there is, you'll never get in anywhere. And I failed. So I've now got to figure out how to get my daughter into school. So yeah. School that doesn't have a permanent police presence. That school I can probably get her into. That is not the school I want her to go to. Yes, Bristol has a school that has a permanent police presence. Did you all know that? I sure as hell fucking didn't. So that's causing me a bit of stress. Really, it's the schools that have failed by not giving you that information. Yeah. And it's like, oh, I don't know. I didn't know it was going to be this hard, I guess. And it doesn't help that I'm working on this job and this business and everything else is going. It's just, I'd like there to be a break at some point. Plus, at the last show, on the second day, I forgot to bring the key to the fucking money box. Right? I left that in my trouser pockets. Of course, I changed trousers, didn't I? Because what we also realised at the event, the first time ever this event happened, was it's fucking freezing in that bastard building, and no one realised. So on the first day, I was wearing thin trousers. On the second day, I was like, nah, fat bastard jeans. So, I changed trousers. Of course, I put the bloody key, which was supposed to be on my keyring, which was in my bag. I put the key to the money box in my pocket, because, of course that's what I would do. So, changing trousers didn't change pockets, didn't take anything out of the pockets. Left my lanyard as well, the proof that I am, in fact, a trader. Thank God they know me. And what else was it? My wallet? Oh, no, that was right. Not my wallet, my card. Because I'd taken that out of my wallet. And I put that in my pocket as well. So, my lanyard, my cash card, and the key to the fucking money pot, all left at home. Couldn't come back and get it. So pissed off with myself. Anyway, we managed to get through the day without any real disasters. But yeah. Of course, I've now just discovered that I left my black work sampler that I made with all my black work on it. I left that at the Newton Abbot show. Thankfully, one of the other traders who was next to me figured it out, picked it up, and has messaged me saying, we'll bring it this weekend. And I'm like, oh, fuck me. Thank you so much. I am such a knob. And yeah. So I'm currently really fucking stressed, really depressed, and really fed up. Maybe a checklist for the next one. You'd think that would work. In fact, John has made a checklist. I'm pretty sure I know roughly where it is. And it's not where he's currently looking, which is where it should be. Just FYI. No. It's behind me. In a pile of crap behind me. That I dumped behind me. That's where the checklist is.
Right.
Yep, I know. Because I don't put things where they're supposed to be.
My checklist.
Yes. But I want to keep that, but I've inputted the data.
So you want to keep it?
I want to keep
Down
it
there?
for posterity. I don't know.
Down
Yeah.
there? Yep.
But
Would you like another one for the next show?
yes, please. We have a tick sheet so that every time we sell something, we tick it off. What we sold and whether it's cash or card. So we have a tick list for that.
It will be done. Just
Yeah. You got 2 days. It's okay. So right now I can't focus on all the good things that happened over the weekend. I can't. Oh, it's a panda butt. Look, it's leaning over, so you got a panda butt. Thank you for asking, Bryn. Hi, how you doing, love? Yeah, this was at the Snagasawa stand. She does sashiko. So exactly what it looks like. Exactly what it looks like. It's a panda butt. It made me laugh, so she gave it to me for free. I got the scissors for free as well from a different store. Because it turns out if you hand out chocolates to people every time you see them, they tend to like you. So I get free shit now. It's great.
Is that what Chloe feels like all the time?
Yes. Only she doesn't hand out chocolates. She just looks adorable.
She gets away with it.
Fuck's sake. There'll be a time when she can't bloody well get away with that anymore. I can tell you that right fucking now. Anyway, hi Bryn, how you doing? So yeah, the woman who does the sashiko, she was opposite me, in Newton Abbot. We changed places, right? We're all in different places each show. So who I'm next to and across changes, but most of the people go to the same shows. There are a few like differences and alterations, but it's a really good little group. And they're really friendly and they're really nice. And they're very accepting. I haven't had an issue, not one. You know? And let's face it, I'm not normal. Does help that I am bribing them with chocolates. Apparently I'm now called the chocolate lady. I was like, I can live with that. Yeah, you've called me worse for sure. That's why I can live with it. I'm like, no, I've been called worse. One of my nicknames is apparently Bubbles. I did not agree to that.
It amuses me.
Yeah, she'll go around with cookies asking people to join the dark side. Hell fucking yeah. Oh man. So, at one of the shows that we went to, I think it was the first one in January, or was it the second one in January? Anyway, one of the ones in January. So we were parked outside. The hotel that we were staying at is actually more like a chalet type thing. And it was attached to a Indian restaurant, which was delicious, by the way. We went there the first night and it was absolutely astounding. It was really good and I would highly recommend it. If I could remember where it was. Ashiana. Where is the Ashiana?
North.
North. It's in the north. So we were staying there, and we were chilling out. We'd had our dinner, and we were just chilling out in our room. And all of a sudden, my phone blew up and told me that the car alarm was going off, and that there had been. Sorry. Newark-on-Trent. So Newark-on-Trent. Excellent. Thank you. So the car was saying, "Oh, something's going on. I'm not happy about this. My alarm's going off. Come deal with me." So John went out to deal with it, and it turns out a twat in a BMW, who apparently couldn't see that because it's a black car. We have a black car. Oh, well, it's because you got a black car. We couldn't see it. It's like, yeah, because the lights being on in the fucking car park clearly didn't help with your visualization of the surrounding area. Okay, so the BMW, right, backed into our car. And, anyway. And by our car, I do mean the Tesla. Okay, but our poor little Tesla. That did nothing to nobody. Anyway, he took full responsibility because, let's face it, it was his fucking fault. And he accepted full responsibility, which is the only good thing I've ever known a BMW driver to do. And he was like, "Yep, okay, this is all me. This is my fault." Yeah, it is. So he was like, "Okay, we didn't have to fight him on that." Very much doubt any mirrors were checked before that maneuver. Fuck. Well, we also believe that alcohol was involved because they were all quite rowdy, him and his mates. So we think drinking was involved, which is probably why he didn't want it to be looked into, because if they ever figured that out, Anyway. So the car had to go in. I mean, I am not versus a parked car. It's hard to win the blame game. I know, right? I know nothing about injuries to cars, okay? I know that for injuries to humans, sometimes what you can see on the outside is just a bruise, whereas inside you've got internal bleeding. Yeah, I'm aware. So it just looked like a bit of a dent, right? And a cracked bumper, and the number plate was cracked as well. So I thought it just needed a bit of a once over, a bit of a patch. Turns out that because of the sensors in it and the cameras that are in the bumper, the whole fucking thing needed to be replaced. So that was a bit of a mare. Anyway, but they were giving us a car, right, because, well, they were like, "Well, we need to take your car in. It's going to be in for like 2 weeks." And we were like, "Well, then we need a car." Oh, they said, "Well, why do you think we have a fucking car?" Anyway, so we were like, "No, we've got to take the kid to school. Plus, I've got these shows to go to. We've got a job. We need the fucking car." Okay? So they were like, "Okay, well, we can give you a car, but it's going to be a petrol car." We were like, "Oh, whatever. We would rather an electric, but sure, we'll take whatever you've got."
My suggestion was we need a large car to be able to continue the business.
Yes.
They suggested a petrol car.
Yeah. So we got there to pick up this petrol car, and it was highly amusing because outside was one of those new electric BMWs, and as we went in, I proper ripped into BMWs because, well, they just, broken our car. But also, I don't really like BMW drivers. Anyway, so we were chatting to him and he goes, "Yes, well, we managed to get you an electric car." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, it's the BMW outside." And I went, "Oh, fuck you." The one you've just listened to me bitch about. That's the car. All right, cool. So, we got this fucking great bastard, massive wank. Hello, Cassie. I'm so sorry. So yeah, we had this, and you got to see the size of the fucking thing. I swear to God, the bonnet came up to my chest. Okay, I'm 5'4", and the roof came above me. So when I was standing next to the car, you couldn't see me from the other side of the car. It was ridiculous.
Right.
Yes, yes, please. So yeah, they were so gleeful inside of it. I know, he was laughing his ass off. You could see it in his eyes. Yes, please. So, all right, we were like, okay, so we've got this fucking car for 2 weeks, all right? Okay, well, we're gonna give it an honest go, right? We're not just gonna be like, ugh, whatever, hate fucking thing. So we were like, okay, let's see what it's got. Let's see its pros and cons, all right? Let's see what it can do. So, you have to climb in and out of the bastard thing. Even John had to climb. It was ridiculous. He's 6 foot. It was so high.
Don't forget the door sill at the top. The door getting in.
Oh yeah. So basically, so it's this big ass car, right? And you open the door, and you know that you slide your ass in to sit down, and then you can just go in. Well, you have to duck your head even further so that you can get underneath the fucking. There's the window, right? You don't want to see my new SUV then? Probably not. Nothing personal. But yeah, so you have to duck your head like this. Oh, it was ridiculous. Then, right, also, Cassie, your SUV will probably go down the streets in America because your roads are big enough. But in England, motherfucker. I swear to
Bristol.
Yeah, also Bristol. I swear to God, we nearly destroyed a few things because we were just like, oh, too close.
The cameras to show you around the car are good because they need to be.
Yeah, they really do.
You can't see the front of the car.
You don't have to climb into it at least, yeah. Can we get in our drive? By the skin of our teeth. Actually, skin of our teeth. Mostly we like to park it outside, up on the road because no. So we were like, okay, you know what? That's fine. That's just the size of that's just getting in. We can get used to that. Okay. Then, you know how when you get into a car and you have to arrange the seat so that it fits you, right? So with our Tesla, we've set up our own personal things and we've set it up so that when we get in, it moves it to our personal preferences. Thank you. Right? So it knows who we are. Well, obviously we weren't going to do that with the BMW. It's not our fucking car. We were going to be giving it back and we didn't want our profiles to be on there, whatever. So we had to move the seat ourselves. I know, first world problems. I'm aware, right? Bear with. So you know how you go underneath the seat to the side and then you do the handy, the fiddly thing to get the... Yeah, okay. They're not on the fucking seats. They're on the door handle. Where the window controls are. That's your seat control. So that took us a bit by surprise. Then, okay, we've only ever had one electric vehicle, so one what's it when it doesn't have a bloody automatic. So we've only had one automatic car, right? So I don't know how many other automatic cars do it. But if you want to change gear, then it's the pedal. That comment went a bit wibbly wobbly. If you want to change gear, then on the steering wheel, on this side, you just flick it down and up or whatever, and that changes your gear. That's in our Tesla. That makes sense. In the BMW, this was the windscreen wiper. And the actual gear stick was down by us by the side of the seat.
Center console.
On the center console, and it was just like, you got to turn it on and then flick, and then it's just like, oh my God. Whereas with the Tesla, it's just clunk, it's done. So it wasn't exactly intuitive. Then the BMW has got 3 screens. It's got a screen over the center console, a screen in front of you behind the steering wheel, and it's also got the heads-up display. Right, so you can see on the windscreen, right? So you can see the speed you're going, and if you've put in directions the way you're going, the directions go here. Fun fact: the heads-up display had the best ability to track where you were and when you needed to turn. The one behind the steering wheel was the second best by only being a smidge out. But the one at the center console was like a second out. So you'd already passed the road you were supposed to turn into by the time you realised. Fuck me!
Also, the map keeps on changing to map, to view, to
so
front
you've got this screen, right? And it's got the full map on it. And then as soon as it's coming up to a junction where you have to make a decision, right? Instead of just saying where you're going, that whole big map moves to the small map, and then you've got a video of what's going on with the little fucking arrow saying where you're going. It's just like, Jesus Christ.
And quite often, there are 3 maps,
all
slightly out of sync.
All 3 maps are out of sync. Not one map matches the other map. There's 3 of them. They're all in the same fucking... I don't understand. I don't understand!
This might be a bit of a ranty stream.
Overkill is not the correct word, Stephen. I just don't know what it is. Yeah, okay. My SUV is okay. Yeah, good. But, oh my God. So, that was that. Then, it's amazing, right? Because BMW drivers are, as a general rule in this country, fuck awful people. They don't indicate, and we were very interested because it turns out our indicators did in fact work. We turned them on and we confused fucking everybody around us. Thank you, Shlee. Oh, confused everyone around us because it's like, oh my God, a BMW is using indicators. It's like, yes, because we're not actual BMW drivers. So indicators do in fact work. But as John was saying, John noticed that when the indicator light in a regular car doesn't work or has stopped working for whatever reason, the indicator noise gets faster. So, it goes tick, 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 tick. When it goes tick, 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 tick. Well, in a BMW, it's just tick, 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 tick. And so he was just like, oh God, is it not working? How would we ever know? And I was just like, shh. But given that this was a brand new fucking car, we just assumed it did in fact work. So there's that. Then there was, oh, that was right. Considering how bad BMW drivers are and how fast they like to drive over the speed limit and how they don't give a shit, right? The BMW likes to let you know that you're speeding. Like, it actually blinks the speed limit at you to make you aware of the fact that you are currently going over the speed limit. I do not understand how these people can see that and not be, and continue to be like, yeah, fuck it, whatevs. Because it annoyed the shit out of me. Which was a good thing, because I could then realise I was going too fast and I slowed the fuck down.
Seating position.
Oh God, seating position. John described it as they built a car and put seats on top of it.
Not in it, on top of.
Yeah, not in it, on top. So you got your car, yeah, and then you got the seats on top, and that's your seating position. It's on top of the fucking car. You're so high. My car has that feature, but I can turn it off.
Something else I noticed. You know, with normal internal combustion engines, you have the accelerator, which kind of goes forwards into it.
Yeah.
BMW was a hinged thing.
Yeah.
So it didn't feel right when you pressed it down.
And another thing about the bloody acceleration and the brake and reverse. Okay, I shit you not. So in a normal car, i.e. a petrol car with gears, all right, and with our Tesla with no gears, both of those cars, okay, if you put your foot on the accelerator, you go forward, and if you put your foot on the brake, you stop. And if you put it in reverse, it doesn't do anything except when you put your foot on the accelerator, it moves. Then when you take your foot off the accelerator, it stops. Not with a fucking BMW, it doesn't. Oh no. You put that fucker in reverse and you tap the accelerator. It then starts to go backwards, but it doesn't stay at that speed. No. It goes faster. It speeds up. I mean, what the fuck?
On our drive we have fairly solid stone pillars.
Yeah.
There was about a foot clearance in total around the car.
So half
when
a
it
foot on each side.
accelerates and you're not quite lined up, it's a bit scary.
So yeah, basically what it was is that you had to tap the accelerator and then instantly put your foot on the brake. It's just like, fuck me, loves. That was just... Ooh. Anyway, the BMW has gone back. And we now have our beautiful Tesla back. And we have missed her. In fact, when I got back off my weekend, when I got back on Saturday night, bad design, oh my God, I know, right? When I got back, I ran down the ran onto the drive and gave my Tesla a hug and a kiss. I shit you not, I hugged and kissed the fucking car. I'm so happy to have her back.
The capacity.
Oh my God, right, so this thing was fucking huge, right? And it had less boot space than our Tesla. It was just ridiculous.
It has slightly more, but quite a lot of the boot space is filled up with the electric cables. And there's no front boot because that's where bits are which are meant to be only accessed by service engineers.
Yeah. So basically the shit that you can't deal with is in the front, right? So you've got no frunk. And then in the boot, there's the other stuff that you need there. And it's just ridiculous. But also, there's so much space inside the car. I shit you not. You know, when you've got your hand... Okay, I don't know if you're supposed to legally do this, but you've got your hand on the wheel and put your arm on the window, right? Okay? Don't. Just go with me, right? So in my car, in my Tesla... My Tesla. In this instance. Not his, mine. So you put your I'm actually showing you, but you can't see it because you can only see my hand. But you put your arm on the windowsill, and you can still drive the car, right? But in the BMW, you put your arm on the windowsill, you're out this far away from the fucking wheel. It was ridiculous. So there's so much room around you, right? And there's so much room in front of you. There's so much room. Well, a bit of room above you. There's so much room around you, and then there's no fucking room in the bastard boot. I judge cars by how many bodies I think I can put in the boot, okay? And my Tesla can put a lot more bodies in it than that fucking BMW. Yeah? With the BMW, you'd have to have the bodies in the actual back seats.
How can you hide a body?
How can you hide it? It's a bit too fucking obvious, isn't it?
The driving seating position. I could either have it so my legs were comfy,
yeah.
I could barely reach the wheel,
yeah,
or I could reach the wheel and my knees were bent uncomfortably.
Yeah, so he couldn't. It was ridiculous. I mean, I could sit in it relatively comfortably because I'm a lot shorter. It's just, oh my God.
But there's too many other things that didn't.
Needless to say, that would be so annoying to clean. Yeah, luckily that we didn't have to. Needless to say, we would not choose to have a BMW. There was not enough to like about that BMW for us to spend the money for a BMW. Bearing in mind that BMW costs a lot more than our Tesla.
I think it was the base model. At 20 grand more than our Tesla.
Base model, base.
Yes. I did not approve of it. It worked as an electric vehicle. Yeah. I would not choose it again.
Cassie, that quilt was... Let's have a look at them. Try to get a decent picture of it. I know I've got one. I have it hung up at the back of my stall now. But yeah, that's the confetti quilt. I made it using all of my fabrics that I have hand printed and hand dyed. So it's this. It has, since this photograph, it has been quilted. Oh, that was before it was quilted as well. But it is now, it's part of my my stall. But the one of it quilted is not overly seeable at this point. There it is. It's quilted there.
That needs to be posted to Convention Pics on Discord.
It does, doesn't it? But yeah, it's over 7 foot tall. And quite wide, so it's a fucking huge quilt. But yeah, I need to put the backing on it and the edging. That hasn't been done yet. Well, no, the backing has obviously been put on it. It's quilted, but I haven't done the edging yet. I will eventually get to the edging. But yeah. Oh my god, it just seems that ranting about a BMW was a good thing. Ooh, I feel much better. Oh, except that I also had to go to the doctor's today. Right, so it's taking 3 weeks for me to get an appointment at the doctor's, right? It's ridiculous that I have to wait 3 weeks. We were in the doctor's today and a woman came up and she said, yes, I need to make an appointment. I was like, she's not going to get one for 3 weeks. And they were like, yeah, how about tomorrow? And I was like, fuck you. Anyway, so about 3 weeks ago, I ran out of pills and I needed to get some more. And I have a repeat prescription, so I can just go to the pharmacy and get the repeat. Anyway, so the pharmacy were like, yeah, okay, well, you need to get your blood pressure taken and have your bloods taken. So you need to have a doctor's appointment. And I was like, okay. So I went to the GP and I was like, I'm aware that you're probably going to make me wait 3 weeks for an appointment. She said, yes, we probably are. Yeah. I was like, okay, well, I need my pills now. So she said, okay, well, we'll make this appointment and you can have your pills now because you've made the appointment. I was like, all right, we can do that. So I made the appointment and I grabbed my pills. So today was the day of the appointment. And we went in and, so we went in. We got seen by the nurse and she was cool. She was nice. She was lovely. But she didn't have a cuff big enough for me because I have to have the large cuffs because I am not thin. So she said, all right, bear with me. She went off to get another one. She put it back and she's like, oh, no, this was the same size. I was like, well, I could tell you that by looking at it. You know, looking at it, it's clearly not big enough. So she went off and she spent a little while, most of our appointment, in fact, looking for another cuff until eventually coming back to us and saying, we don't have any cuffs. Could you go to the pharmacy and get it done? I was like, sure, whatever. Anyway, so she took my blood and let us go. So we went to the pharmacy where we said, can I get my blood pressure taken? They're like, yeah, sure. And I was like, yeah, you're going to need a bigger cuff. And they went, oh, well, we don't have a bigger cuff. I was like, well, that's a fucking shame because that means I can't have my blood pressure. Oh, we could try it with this. You could try it, but it's not going to work. Will you listen to me? Will you listen to me? I know what I'm saying. So anyway, she tried to put it around. I was like, it's going to come off. She was like, it's going to come off. I was like, I fucking said that. So they're like, yeah, no, we can't take your blood pressure. I was like, fair enough. So as we were leaving, I went back to receptionist. I said, could you please make a note of this? That I've tried to have my blood pressure taken. I've made the appointment and you people didn't have a cuff big enough. I've gone to the pharmacy and they didn't have a cuff big enough. I said, I have tried to have my blood pressure taken, but I couldn't. And so she said, yes, we can make a note of that. Then she said, oh, but you could buy one really cheaply. I said, no, I am not buying a blood pressure cuff. I'm not buying a test, a kit, whatever. I am not buying it. Oh, well, I mean, that's your health. I was like, no, you don't understand, sweetheart. It's not just my health. I was like, what people don't understand is that I...
Recharge?
Yes, please. That I, once upon a time, about 14 years ago now, I went to my doctor and I told him that I was so fucking depressed. I was so bad that I was having suicidal thoughts. And I said that I, very badly, needed some freaking help. And his response was to test my blood pressure. Go, oh, your blood pressure's really high. Here, have some blood pressure medication, and sent me on my way. At which point I decided that if you are not going to give a fuck about my mental health, I'm not going to give a fuck about my blood pressure. So while an incident happened 13 years ago, so a year after that, I had to go to hospital with my blood pressure. It nearly killed me. So yes, I have started taking blood pressure medications. But if they want me to do anything specific, they have to do it. Because they are the ones that give a shit about my blood pressure, and I am not. I very forcefully do not give a shit. I take my meds, but if you're going to fuck me about, I'm going to stop taking them. Because you clearly do not give a shit about my mental health, so bollocks to you. And that may sound harsh, but I got issues, yo. I got issues. So yeah, so she was there going, oh, well, it's very cheap. I was like, I'm not paying for that machine. If you want to give me a machine, all right, but I'm not paying for it. And if you people can't get a cuff big enough for me, then I'm not getting my blood pressure taken, am I? Frankly, that's on them. As far as I'm concerned. That's nuts. Yeah. If someone goes in and says that they are so depressed that they are having suicidal thoughts and that they needed help, would you really just test their blood pressure without looking into their mental health issues? Needless to say, I never went back to that doctor. Unfortunately, also because my mental health was so bad, I didn't go back to any doctor. Hence, I got taken to hospital a year later. But I don't trust doctors now. Whenever it comes to my blood pressure, I'm like, fuck you. Fuck all of you. I hate you all. And the problem is, I mean, I fully support the NHS. I fully support our doctors and nurses and the struggle that they go through. But I hate my GP. I hate GPs. I hate them with passion. Yeah.
Spare box. Did you want the wooden spare box or did you want the plastic spare box?
That's the plastic spare.
Okay. I'll just organising stuff for tomorrow.
Okay. But yeah, if they want me to give a shit about my blood pressure, they have to start giving a shit about my mental health. And if they wanted me to buy the bloody machine, then they shouldn't have ignored my mental health to begin with. I'm very angry about this. I don't know if you've noticed. Because while I have had therapy and dealt with a lot of my issues, or at least have figured out how to deal with a lot of my issues, I never got anything for the anger. So I haven't really had any anger management per se. So the anger is really coming out at the moment. And I didn't mean for it to be. You know, I really thought that I was doing better on that front. Apparently I'm not. Also, that's not particularly inclusive of them. People are all sorts of shapes and sizes. I know, right? I was just like, oh, well done. You know, your issues. I didn't make a big deal. Oh, no, I kind of did. I was like, well, you haven't got a cuff big enough for me. You. But yeah, none of them had a cuff. The cuff would go around my arm, yeah? But they couldn't then do it up. Right? And bearing in mind that the cuff needs to go right round so that it can do that, so that when you start pumping it up, it flexes a little bit, right? But not a lot. Well, they've got it so that it doesn't fit. It goes there and it won't do. And I know that they have got bigger cuffs. In fact, they know that they have a cuff. But in the entire building, they couldn't fucking find it. Yeah? I was like, well, you know what? If you are so insistent, or I get my blood pressure done, or you're not going to give me my meds, then you need to fix this. Because it wasn't just my blood pressure meds that they weren't going to let me have. They weren't going to let me have any of them, and my antidepressants are in that. You know, the thing I actually do give a shit about. Hello.
Is it Laura that was on the stand next to you?
I think so, why? Oh, that was the... Laura, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And also she said, do you know your weight? I was like, no, I don't know my weight. She's like, well, let's just pop you on the scales. I was like, all right, cool. So she weighed me and I was like, what is it? And she told me and I was like, ooh, I've lost 15, whatever it is. Because I was 160 and I'm now 145. And I don't know if pounds, ounces, what, a stone, I got no idea. But I know I was 160 and I'm now 145. So me losing weight is working. So I was just like, ooh, yeah. So we had a bit of a little, me and John, because I asked John to come in as well. It was just, we were like, ooh, I've lost weight, ooh. Support. But yeah, I was quite chuffed because I'm not weighing myself all the time, so I don't know what my weight is. But then again, women's weights fluctuate throughout the month anyway, so you're not supposed to do it all the time. Apparently. I need to book appointments for the doctors, but my brain just wants to hide in a blanket pile, yeah. I do understand. There's a couple of things that I need to do. It's on my to-do list. And every time I look at them, I'm like, I can't. Oh, I watched Bohemian Rhapsody, the film about Queen. And it was really good. I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it. Anyway, there's a scene where they are trying to talk to this producer about the album that Bohemian Rhapsody is on and all of the songs in it. And they're talking about Bohemian Rhapsody, and the producer says, 6 minutes is a really long time. And Freddie goes, well, I'd hate to ask your wife about that, that was funny. Anyway, so they then were like, look, if you're not going to take this on, then we're going to walk away. And at the end of the film, he felt like a right twat because, he let them go and it was a great success. What I didn't know at the time that I found out later on is that the producer is played by Mike Myers. who was Wayne's World. And I just thought, oh, that's a level of perfect that I couldn't have come up with myself. But they had him in so much makeup, you couldn't tell it was Mike Myers. Well, I couldn't anyway. And I just thought that was beautiful because there's that scene in Wayne's World that now has everyone, whenever Bohemian Rhapsody comes on, headbanging in their car. And there he was, you know, being the producer that said no to Bohemian Rhapsody. And I was like, fuck yeah. There's a serendipity there. I love it when they do shit like that. You know, so that you've got the connections going off in your head. But I'm often looking at the IMDb cast list for these things because I recognise you, I recognise your voice, I recognise this. And so that's how I even know that Mike Myers was in it. Because like I wouldn't have guessed. I wouldn't have figured that out on my own.
Coffee.
Yeah, I got a coffee. Yeah. I should drink that. Thanks.
Did you use electric scissors much?
This weekend? Once.
That's why it's now charged. That didn't take long. But, well, I remember, the battery's going back in.
Thank you.
It's not good being attached for safety.
Yeah.
It should be fine, but I also don't want it to carve through anything.
That's fair. Hello, Laura man. How you doing? Johnny's talking about the electric scissors. Gotta mute for a bit. Ugh. But we've got these scissors they're electric, so they've got a blade at the bottom, just cuts through the fabric. So you just go zzz, and it's they're fucking beautiful. Everyone that sees them is just like, I have to get me some of those. I'm like, it's a lifesaver. Thank you. Here they are. So you just put it in the right way. Yep. And it goes through fabric really well. Thank you.
Let's take it away before you do too much.
So, yeah, everyone that's seen them is now like, I have to get some of those. And I'm like, fuck yeah, you do. Because it makes cutting fabric a dream. Because normally cutting fabric is a fucking nightmare.
It's not a nightmare, it's just so much faster with the electric scissors.
It really is.
I'm not sure exactly how much faster, but it also saves your wrist.
Yes.
Fingers.
Saved my sanity. Mm. Not that there's much of my sanity left.
So you need to preserve that.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff is about ready.
Cool, thanks.
Except for the shelving. The shelving is that way, and everything else is there.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
I have not included your latest quilt. Folder.
That.
But
That's a cushion.
I've not included your latest
Well, no, you're not.
creation.
You're not supposed to because it's not finished.
Right.
When it's a cushion, we'll take it.
Point is, you still have the 2 IKEA bags for last minute-ish type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That was the thing.
Cthulhu's Heathen, hello. Thank you for following. Hello, welcome in. How you doing?
But yeah. Question. Did you want some of those taken with?
No. Okay. They're very specifically for shops. And I don't know. Not yet. Thank you. You clicked all the Cthulhu's on Twitch. Excellent. Well, welcome. However, I'm not just a Cthulhu on Twitch. I'm in the process of getting my name changed by Deepon to Cthulhu. So I'm going to be a Cthulhu in real life too. It's going to be awesome. Oh, there are a lot of us, by the way, Cthulhus. I know I've seen a few. Haven't crossed stitch in forever? Ugh, well, I just find it so relaxing. Like, so it's really chill and just, ugh. This is going to be my daughter's birthday present. She's going to be 11 in May, so I'm doing it for her. So for her 10th birthday, I made her a quilt. For her 11th birthday, I'm making a cross stitch. But yeah, as you can see, it's switches on a cauldron, but the overall design is going to be the outline of a cat. It means this Cthulhu stabs fabric several thousands of times. Yes. And not people or other things, which she is desperately unhappy about. But also doesn't want to go to prison. So, there's that. Right, that is that. So, we need the next colour. There's the colour chart. Oh, may as well put the black away, hadn't we? Right, black. And where is that? Sorry, where's what we're doing? I'm doing that one, which is 3607. Which is in this one. 3607. That one. Beautiful. So we're doing 2 threads, 2 strands for this. On 18 count Ada. And I got this pattern from someone on Etsy. Obviously during Halloween. Although I'm not giving it to my daughter during Halloween. But that's because Halloween should be forever. All year round, not just one bit of 1 month. Yeah, Halloween is for all months, not just October. Exactly. We are eventually going to be making our year-round ghosts. You know, our seasonal ghosts for all seasons. That's going to be fun. As soon as I am not so fucking busy I can't breathe, we will get onto that. Black has gone in there. Let's go. Go. Thank you. Yep. Okay. Oh, look, the sun's come out. Hang on. Better. But if you really like something, then I don't see why you can't celebrate it all year round. And she's going to love the fact that it's a cat. Hello, darling. Ooh! Does this mean you love me?
No, it's celebrating.
Oh.
Because you're not just for
Christmas?
Day of the Dead.
You're down tootin'. Thank you. And I've got another one that I bought at the same time, possibly from the same place, which is a bit more Cthulhuoid. So I'm going to be doing that one for me. Can I find it? That's the question. Can I find it? Skeletons, wasn't it? Yeah, it was skeletons. Okay, let's see if we can't get the full picture. In color. Okay, it's not a Cthulhu. It's skeletons. I got that wrong. Anyway, doesn't matter. Because it's cool. My daughter. Oh, actually, I could show you, couldn't I? Because it's right here. Yep, there it is. Thank you. Right. Go the fuck away. Thank you. So yeah, it will eventually be a full cat outline. I bought a new game today called something Stone Shard. And it's quite interesting actually. It's one of those ones. It's what is it? A roguelike. So if you die, because you can only save at the at a save point, which is where you get to sleep. So once you sleep, it saves. Now at the moment, I've only got the inn, so I have to keep running back to the inn. But I'm also not very hard and don't have a lot of ability, and it's just ugh. Anyway, so so I keep dying. But yeah, it does have a they should be squishy, etc. Yes, it does have a mode where you can switch that on, and when you die, all of your saves are destroyed. That's a permadeath. I was like, I'm not going to click that, thanks. Because at least at this point I can, like, save a little bit. But, you know, I've just been playing it this morning. Because currently I'm taking some time off because I'm between shows. And so these days are currently my weekend. So Monday and Tuesday is definitely my weekend right now. Because Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they are, and possibly Wednesday. Wednesday we've got this week we've got to pack the car. Thursday we're driving there and setting up. Friday, Saturday, Sunday is the show, and Sunday we're driving back. So I'm taking a couple of days because I'm exhausted and I need them. So I was just playing Stone Shard for funsies because I just bought it today as well. So fuck it, why not? But it's kind of like the graphics are kind of like Graveyard Keeper and Stardew Valley. The story is more like an RPG. I've been seriously binge watching TV whenever I'm home. Because it's just helping to chill me out, you know, just helping me to not exist for an hour or two. Or 5, depending on how much I watch. So I've watched a film called Pride. That was cool. And that was about the LGBT alliance. Not the alliance. I apologise. That was mean. A group of LBG people. Well, it was just LGB during the 90s when Thatcher closed all the coal mines. And so all the coal, well, she was fucking about with them and they were all going on strike, right? So this group from London, this LGB group from London, decided to start trying to get money to send to them. And they did a really good job of helping these guys out survive the, because if you're on strike, you're not getting paid, right? So they did like food drives and all that to get them enough food so they could survive there and the communities could survive. But obviously everyone was just like, oh, gay groups, no, we don't need that. There was one group in Wales, there was one coalition in Wales that accepted the help. And it was really good. It is based on true events. It actually all did happen. And it was really good. In my opinion, I liked it. It made me cry a little bit. Not as much as It's a Sin made me cry. But, you know. It was around a similar time, you know. The HIV and AIDS epidemic kind of just was beginning and was... It wasn't... The It's a Sin is actually, I think, 80s. Oh no, they were both in the 80s, weren't they? I think they were both in the 80s. So It's a Sin was slightly before Pride. Set before Pride. At the beginning of the AIDS epidemic. And Pride is when they figured it out a bit more and they kind of knew what it was and were trying to combat it. But it was still an issue. But they're both really good. One's a program, one's a film. I would watch them both. That was fun. last night I watched Mute. That was a good one. That was basically a mute man goes on a hunt in his local gang area to try and find his missing girlfriend. That was quite interesting. It was a good take on it's an old story, let's face it. What's happened to my girlfriend? So but it was set in the future, and it was with a mute as the main character. So that it was interesting. I would watch it. I have also watched the first 3 seasons of Dear White People. I tried to watch the 4th season, but the 4th season is a musical. The whole fucking thing is not just one episode that's a musical. I could have lived with that. The whole fucking thing is musical. I can't. I'm saying that I only managed to get to see episode 2, at which point I noped out because I can't do musicals. I just can't. It's just awful. Fucking hateful things. But yeah, so the whole of episode 1 was a musical, and then they started singing at the beginning of episode 2, and I was like, yeah, no. So I can only watch 3 seasons of the 4, apparently, that are out of Dear White People. But that was also very good. It's very interesting because it helps to understand. It talks about racism in a way that's, I don't know, easily understandable, it does delve into the whole why do black people need this, that and the other, white people, why can't white people have that too, and it was just like, so it goes on those sort of white people aren't suffering the way the black people are, therefore, but there's also LGBTQIA plus elements in there as well. So it's not just black on white, it's minorities. But they're given a voice, and it's really good as well. There's some sensitive shit going on, but I think it was dealt with really well. And yeah, I would highly recommend that you watch Dear White People. Back from a meeting. Hello, Shliz. Welcome back. I'm just talking about films and programs that I have watched recently. If I can remember them, because I've watched a lot of crap. Oh, is that the Dear White People? Or was that Mute? Dear White People, thank you. Oh, I also watched the Murdoch mysteries. Sorry, Murdoch murders. It's spelt Murdo, but apparently pronounced Murdoch. It's a very rich white American family in America, although they were ginger as well, so insert racial profiling of ginger people. But lots of people died around them, and this was true. This is a documentary, not a mockumentary. It was an actual family, and they would just cover up everything. It was just ridiculous. So obviously I watched that one. Of course I did. It's about murder. The hell are you? The Last of Us. But I don't have the channel that's on. Felix has chosen violence again today. He jumped onto the laptop and then almost pushed it off the... What a motherfucker. Have you had strong words with the boy? Have some tissues on hand. Oh, is it teary, is it? Excellent. I do want to see it. Like I said, I just don't have the channel options available at the moment. So I was going to wait for the whole thing to be released and then pay for a month. You've not watched the show, played the game though. Yeah, I understand the game's pretty teary too. Luckily, I've managed to avoid all spoilers, so I have no idea what's coming. I've managed to avoid anyone playing the bloody game. I didn't do it deliberately or specifically. I had no issue. I managed to avoid it accidentally. You heard fans like it, so you expect it'll be faithful to it. Good groovums. I like it when they do that. Because if you haven't heard my opinion on the Running Man yet, you should. I need to stop getting angry about that. The problem is, of course, that The Running Man was a really good film and I really enjoyed it because I was very into Arnold Schwarzenegger, not in a sex way, but he's a really cool actor way. And he does really cool films. And I really enjoyed The Running Man, and so, I watched it loads. I watched it over and over and over. It was one of the first things I binged. Goddamn clickers, shudders. Anyway, so I loved that film. So when I realised that it was based on a book, I was like, oh my god, well I have to read the book, right? And the book was by Stephen King, and I was like, oh my god, I already love Stephen King, yeah? So I got the book, and I read the book. The book made me cry, it broke my heart, and then I got so angry that they destroyed the book with that disgusting piece of shit film that I haven't been able to see it since. Oh, I didn't even know what clickers meant. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was trying to figure that out. But okay, cool. So yeah, so I haven't been able to watch The Running Man ever since because they destroyed what was a really beautiful book. I got angry at Stephen King. I was just like, how dare you let this be made? Oh, yeah, right. So obviously I have been very careful ever since about what I watch and what I read. Well, I read The Girl with All the Gifts before. I read The Girl with All the Gifts before it was even announced that they were going to make a film out of it. Okay, I read it before that. It was the first time I've managed to do that for anything, and I was really chuffed. But I went into this film going, it's going to be shit, and I'm going to get really fucking angry. And they surprised the fuck out of me because they made some changes, but I understood those changes, although I didn't understand all of them, but I understood, I got it, and they didn't destroy the book, thank fuck. They did a reasonable job. So I can watch the film. Even though that's one of the most beautiful books I've ever read as well. Again, broke my heart. When you've cried, when you're reading a book and you're crying, it's a good book. because your heart's breaking, you know, you feel it. So yeah, I read The Running Man, and the book was so beautiful and had such an awesome and important message. And the film was, by comparison, one of the worst pieces of trash I've ever known. And this is coming from someone who fucking loved the film. And I can't separate the film from the book anymore. I just can't. Whenever I hear Running Man, I'm like, bastards! Because the book just deserved better. It deserved better. And like I say, I was a bit angry at Stephen King at first. Then, of course, I realised that he may not have actually had any control whatsoever fucking ever. Because once you've sold the rights, you've sold the rights. But what they did to that book, they don't deserve to have the jobs that they do. They really don't. Everyone involved with that needed to be hung, drawn and quartered. Oh, I know, let's take this amazing story and ruin it completely. $3,756. Oh, this rant is about The Running Man, film versus book. And how the book is amazing and beautiful and everyone should read that, and the film is a pile of fucking shit. And I've lost which number I'm getting now. 3756. And I love that we all have to clarify which rant I'm talking about, because I have so many. I was planning on listening while I filed my very simple sales tax return, which then led to several phone calls, which led to a person who knows absolutely nothing about taxes. My book versus film annoyances, Ender's Game. Book is amazing, film is meh. Fair enough, I have not read Ender's Game, and I should. Cassie, yeah, taxes, man. I don't ever want to. I have an accountant, and I'm hoping that I don't ever have to. Because my accountant will just go, we need this. Here you go, here's that. Right, that's sorted. All paid. Done for you. This is what you owe. Not that I'm going to owe anything for quite some time. Just FYI. I believe I've seen Ender's Game. I'd have to check the link list. Main problems I needed to calculate a number based on like 6, but there was no lines. Oh. Yeah, I'm just going to have to clarify that. Have I seen Ender's Game? Or was it something else? Harrison Ford. This is not a game. Rock on. Young Ender Wiggin is recruited by the International Ministry to lead the fight against the Formics, an insectoid alien race who had previously tried to... I have not seen this film. I was thinking about something else. Oh, look! We have a copy. I can watch it now. Thank you.
No, later.
Well, not right this second.
Should I leave it in here or should I put it back in?
I don't have a CD player.
It's hiding inside.
Well, if it's hiding inside, how would I know?
Good point. Oh, no.
Pretty sure I just don't have a
Deal with
CD
it
player.
later. Deal with it later.
Don't watch it, it's meh. Fair enough. I did not hear good things about Ender's Game. But it's Harrison Ford, yo. And if I don't watch, I'm never going to read it. It's taken me 3 years to read my friend's book. It's just a regular sized book, yo. Ender's Game now with more meh. I love it. I am a big watcher of TV and film, which is why I'm finding it so fucking hard to find anything to watch on Netflix anymore. Because I've watched it all. Oh, stretch. Hi, Rhiannon. Thank you very much for the stretch. Let me just finish these stitches and I will just do that. Right, stretching is happening. Okay. Oh, gotta stand up first. Oh. John is watching so that he can confirm I am in fact doing the stretches.
Bit fun, not disrupting.
Uh-huh. Have I stretched?
Because it makes your back work in a different way than leaning over stuff. Yes, you have now stretched.
Thank you. I have officially stretched, according to the John.
Oh, you can round a bit. It counts, right?
I flexed a finger, that counts, right? So thank you for the stretch. I trust you. Okay. Goosey. Mm. 3608. Do I not already have that? Oh, it's 3607. Or 3609. I need 3608, which is that one. Like 3 or 4 different pinks in this. It's ridiculous. Mm. Why would you do that to me, you utter shite? Thank you. Fuckhead. It knotted just before the eye. Anyway, piece of shit wank. What am I doing? I'm doing that. Oh, okay. So yeah, excuse me. So we're going back to Duxford on Thursday. Back to, I haven't been to Duxford before. We're going to Duxford on Thursday. And I've managed to get myself a meeting with someone who works with the Stuff Fabrics. And they print and distribute fabrics to shops. And I'm asking him whether or not they would print and distribute mine. I suspect he's going to say not at this time, that I need to put a couple more designs out first, which I've accepted and understand, so I get it. I'll probably be able to do that in a couple of years' time when I've got more designs out and I've made a bit more of a name for myself. But at least I'm having that conversation. And anyway, so I messaged him, and the South UK agent for Stuff Fabrics, I messaged. Anyway, so I messaged with, hi, this is who I am, this is what I do, and this is what I would like to know. And he was like, and he Googled me. He fucking Googled me. It was amazing. Not just that. He Googled and he looked at my website, and so he asked about the designs on my website, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. And then he said, right, well, I'm going to be in Duxford, because he knew at that point I was going to be in Duxford because he'd already checked the website. I'm going to be in Duxford, so I'll meet with you then. I was just like, yeah, yay, cool. Yeah, so anyway, I am meeting the South UK agent for Stuff Fabrics to have a discussion about whether or not I can get my fabrics printed and delivered to fabric shops around the world. Because one of my bits of spiel that I use is that people won't find these fabrics anywhere else. I'm the only person selling them. I said, until I become famous, then they'll be everywhere. And so yeah, it's like, yeah, it's brilliant. So I'm a little bit excited by that. I'm also like terrified. you know. But I'm taking my laptop with all my designs on so that they can see. He can see what I do. But like I say, I'm not expecting anything at the moment. I'm not expecting anything right now. I'm not expecting him to jump up and go, yes, we will do this for you, not a problem. That's not going to happen. What I am expecting is that he remembers me. So that in a couple of years' time, when I've got more designs out there and I've got more of a following, then they'll be like, yes, we'd love to take you on at that point. So, yeah. Of course, at that point, I'm not sure I actually want to stop doing the shows. I really enjoy doing the shows. I love talking to people and being part of that. So I don't think I want to give that up. But I am going to be putting together a book of blackwork designs that I'm going to approach publishers with. So yeah, I'm going to publish a book. I'm saying this, I'm going to. I hope to. I want to. But not in the, I wish one day it could happen. It's in the, it's going to happen very, very soon. So there will be a book of blackwork designs with my name on it. Just so you know. Is it on the projects list? It's on the it's going to happen projects list. Not the I would love to do it projects list, but the it is in fact going to happen projects list. I know the difference between my lists, even if no one else does. Yeah. So I'm going to have a book to sell on the stall as well. It's going to be a book that's going to be, let's face it, released in 2024. As a minimum, right? Because it has to be, well, written. I've got the content. I've got the black work. That's done. But I need to like see what needs to be written and write it and get a publisher to publish it. And if a publisher won't publish it, then at the point in which it's written, Kickstarter. Who are they? Yeah. Who is ChatGPT? Oh, okay. Bryn, ever make a suggestion like that again and I'll fucking ban you. Love you. No AI. Fuck that shit. Want another rant? A fucking I. Oh, is that robot crying? Yeah, tough shit. But yeah, I am definitely going to be writing this book, putting this book out. I don't know exactly what to write about it, about the history of black work or how I created it. It should probably be about how I created it because there's other books about other histories, isn't there? So you don't need to do that, just how I created it. That'll be enough, right? Do you know what? I'm going to talk to a publisher about this, find out what they want. I've done the work. I've done the creation. Thank you for the hydrate. I guess I might have to do a couple of the designs and different things in different ways, so not just on my sampler piece, which I left at Newton Abbot like a dick. Did I mention that I left it at Newton Abbot, the fucking masterpiece that is my Blackwork sampler? Luckily, the stall next to me, she picked it up and she was like, "Oh, she sent me a message going, you left this here? But don't worry, I'm looking after it and I'm going to bring it to Duxford." And I'm like, "Oh, thank you so much." So she's going to require something extra from me. Yeah. I will get a drink in just a minute. Does require getting up. And I'm a lazy bitch. Because I did have a water bottle, right, which was been sat on my desk all this time. And I took it to the event with me because obviously I needed water at the event. And as we were tidying up and putting things away, you know, it got knocked off the table and it landed heavily on the floor. And I was like, oh, well, shit. But then I noticed that it was still dripping water and I was like, oh, bollocks. So I picked it up and realised I've broken the fucking thing completely. It's fucked. My brain's not working again. It thought water was an anagram and I tried to figure out what it meant. Water! We do not drink water here. Water. Yes. So I've now broken the water bottle. John's water bottle. The next time I say that I am a twat, I'm afraid it's true. You can't disagree with me anymore. One of those weeks, and it's only Tuesday. Yes. Versus Riri a blanket. Yes. Oh man. So we the Newton Abbot show was fucking freezing. Hello? Epi! Oh, thank you! 7 months of supporting this amazing streamer and friend and this amazing community. We all love you with all our heart. I love you too. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's 2 subs today. Fucking hell. It's been a week and it's only Tuesday. Yes. So Newton Abbot show was so fucking cold that on the second day we also brought blankets. And on the third day, which was the Saturday, because there's 2 S's, darling. Because Chloe was not in school, John brought her down to see me because Newton Abbot was only an hour and a half away, so we got to drive home every night, which was nice, so we didn't have to stay in a hotel. But he brought Chloe down to see me so she could see the show and see, you know, I'm busy, I'm trying to do more than one thing at a time. Holy fuck, and you spelt it that well? Well done, love. So we had these blankets. Anyway, so Chloe comes in and she's wearing this tiny little miniskirt. I shit you not. My 10-year-old is wearing a tiny little miniskirt. And so Nell and I...
miniskirt.
Oh, yeah, ripped miniskirt. Ripped denim miniskirt. It was just like, fuck me, love. Anyway, so... Nell, who was actually helping me out, so she'd come with me the whole weekend, so helping me out. We were talking to each other after they left. We were like, honestly, I would tell my kid, I'd be like, I'd see what she's come down wearing, I'd be like, what the fuck do you think you're wearing? And I was like, yeah, it's not because they're wearing something slutty, it's because they're wearing something freezing. She's gonna freeze. You can wear the slutty thing, just put some fucking leggings on. You can wear the miniskirt, I don't care. You can be ripped as you fucking like, I don't care. You can be showing your ass off, I don't care. Wear something warm. You want to show your knickers off? Not a problem. But could you put some thermals on? But yeah, so we're both like, it doesn't matter what they're wearing, but she's gonna fucking freeze.
If it's an accident that's an error that feels good, then you leave it in.
Is that talking on my music? Is my music talking?
You want those.
Thermal undies, kids. Exactly, right? So we're all talking about blankets and being cold. My daughter, she went to school today in shorts because it's she's got PE today. So instead of taking the shorts and changing or wearing some trousers over the shorts, she's just worn shorts, and we're like, "Are you sure, sweetheart? It's kind of cold."
It's 3 degrees centigrade, and please can vouch that baby Fulu is turning into a chili burrito. I sent the picture.
Oh yeah. Very cool picture. It was brilliant. So she was sat, the kid was an actual northerner. I fucking know, man. When did that happen? Jesus. When her father's a southerner and I'm an East Midlander. How we got a northern child, I do not know. But yeah, so next generation of blanket burrito, yeah. Well, she got to the show in this tiny little fucking skirt, and she was like, "It's a bit cold, isn't it?" We were like, "Yes, we told you that. We said it was cold. We warned you. We gave you the option here, and you still chose to wear that." So she got covered in a blanket and a coat, and it was just like, yeah. And I believe that's the photo that you received, Shlee, is her in a blanket and a coat, just wrapped up. It's like, you're a fucking fool, turning up in nothing like that. Jesus Christ. The rest of us are freezing our asses off. You, ugh.
We adapted. She was warm enough. She's not a popsicle.
Yeah, well,
Fine.
not due to anything she did.
Yes, but she is a child. We were working on making her use her brain. It's taken 10 years so far, we haven't run yet.
We better start figuring this out before she fucking freezes. But there is cold, and then Mum told me it was cold. Yeah, don't listen to Mum. What does Mum know? What the fuck does Mum know? Seriously. Mum's only like always fucking right. Well, with exceptions. Oh, that's something I watched yesterday. Oh, it's from 2003, and it was almost like they knew exactly what was going to happen in 2020. Oh man, what was it? Doomsday. The film was called Doomsday. And oh man, it was brilliant. The premise is that a virus, a new virus that they can't combat, sweeps over Scotland, and they have to build the wall and lock everyone in Scotland so they can't get out. But then the virus starts to happen again in London. They're like, oh, but we've noticed that there are some people wandering around in Scotland. How is this possible? Do they have a cure?